All right, we talked about it off the top. Celtics head coach Ime Udoka facing a suspension for a consensual, intimate relationship with someone on the staff, someone who's a member of the Celtics franchise. And Marc Spears of Anscape covers the league very well as anybody in the country. I said earlier, first of all, teams don't do this. Like teams, I can't, and you've covered the NBA for a long time. Teams usually don't suspend their coach for a season and then have that person come back as a head coach. I mean, just when you heard the story break, what were some of the thoughts that you have, and what are some of the thoughts that you have around it?
Well, as you know, I covered the Celtics for 2 seasons. I know the ownership very well, the stability of the franchise very well. So it was kind of surprising to me. Woj is a great reporter, so it's not surprising to me that Woj reported it, but it was surprising to me that this got out. To me, it was probably something I think should have been handled behind the scenes. There's so many other things that are handled behind the scenes that are probably even maybe much bigger than this, right? That we never hear about.
That's
and
right.
To me, this seemed to be one of those situations because there's so many people that this hurts. I mean, to me, like Ime's career is derailed. And I'm not defending anything he did, or I don't know all the details, but this is probably put a scarlet letter on him in terms of being an NBA head coach. You think about all the people that affects. It affects the entire organization. It affects family members. I put out a tweet today that Allison Feaster, who's an amazing up-and-coming front office exec, who's basically like an assistant GM with the Celtics, she's not involved with that. So it was sad that I even had to put out a tweet like that. But, social media is a dangerous place. And now that the Celtics haven't, I don't know how many details they can put out, but, social media goes crazy and people are speculating. But go ahead.
No, I was just going to say you're going right. And I went there earlier. I said, that was one of the unfair aspects of this story, Mark, that it did get out. We share that. And we're both reporters at heart. It's the way we came up. So it's tough to say when you got a journalism background, hey, that shouldn't have gotten out because we're trained to get everything that we can. But there are certain stories that you say, well, wait a minute. Why did it have to come out like this? And now that it's out, everybody who's a female who works for the Celtics is under scrutiny, and it's not fair. Do you think the Celtics could have done anything to prevent that from happening? I mean, the story, I'm making the big leap that the story leaked and it came from the Celtics. Since that leak came from them, is there anything they could have done to maybe get the message out but protect people who are not involved at all and now have to answer questions?
Yeah, it just, Mike, it's hard to really determine without knowing all the details, right? And I don't know that we'll ever know all the details or whether we should know all the details. But to suspend a coach for a year, you might as well just fire them or let them resign and figure out the best way, personal differences, whatever, right? Because I don't even want. I'm like uncomfortable even going into the consensual and all that. Like that's why I said this is, to me, like, it's sad because you're talking about a coach that I think could end up having a Hall of Fame career. Just went to the finals. One of the young and up and coming coaches that a lot of young black coaches look up to, that Nigeria looks up to. He's somebody that has had an impact globally. I saw him at the Hall of Fame. He was there, played part of the Spurs dynasty. He was there supporting Ginobili when he went into the Hall of Fame. So again, not knowing the details. I don't want to play judge and jury here, but it's when stuff like this happens to a coach, then if you're an assistant coach, your job is done. Like, but probably I know guys on that staff that if the things don't go well this season, even if they do go well, they probably have lost their jobs. So that's what I mean. This is one of the sad days in Celtics history. It'll be an unforgettable day, and the after effects of this could last for decades.
All right, now can I push back against something that you said, Mark? You said that this could, put the scarlet letter on him, Udoka, and maybe affects his career. Yes and no. Okay, yes, what you said is true, but is that the way we should be looking at it, or teams should be looking at it? There are players.
Oh, I'm not talking about me.
I'm just saying, but the league. Maybe we don't allow people to go down that route, because there are players who have all sorts of things in their background. The players that we admire,
but you said
after a while,
it's different though when you could average 30 a game. When you're somebody that could average 30 or 40 a game, like, you could get away. So I'll say, how many stars do you know that as soon as they were headaches, that as soon as they weren't able to deliver on that elite level, careers came to an end? Because people didn't want to deal with the diva stuff anymore. As long as coaches are coaches, they'll probably be, hey, I hope I'm wrong, but hey, you know what? We'll go with another coach just because we don't want to. I think part of the problem with Kaepernick's ability to come back, this is a whole different subject, is that I think a lot of teams just don't want the potential circus that comes with bringing Kaepernick back. It doesn't even have anything to do with his ability to play. It's, well, do we want national media there every day? Do we want to deal with the criticism? It has nothing to do with football. It's all off the court stuff. So I just don't trust our society. I don't trust these owners to be forgiving.
Yeah, I think the Celtics are.
And this is a black dude, so there's that too. So how the world is.
Well, listen. I think the Celtics are jumping into some deep waters on this. If the story, because I need some more information to make this make sense. If it's a consensual relationship, and we're talking about adults, I'm not talking about the dynamics of, hey, you violated your vows or whatever. No. I'm just talking about, it's a consensual relationship between adults. Yeah, it's team policy. You don't want that. Yeah. But it's not like he did anything wrong. That's debatable. That Celtics think it's wrong because it's their policy. But if you talk to 30 people, if we just take a sample, we just scoop up 30 people right now listening to us, I bet you it's 15-15, 16-14. It's debatable. Yeah. And to say, because it begs
go down that road. It begs to the question for them after everything comes out, was this worth it? Right? Was it worth it for everybody involved? Because there are going to be a lot of people that are going to, careers are going to be affected, lives are going to be affected. It's deeper than the people involved in the franchise. It's, just like I said, just the fact I got to tweet something out just so somebody could hopefully feel like their name's not dragged through the mud.
Yeah.
That just shows really you like, and it's what 4:00 there, and we haven't heard nothing from this franchise. Like, that's not good for it's like deeper than those two people. There's a lot of pain going on with this right now.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.